Welcome back to another video. I am covering the Micah Miller case, and some of you saw one of my big videos was taken down by Solid Rock Media and my channel got a strike. So I guess I have to be more careful in how I put things out, but that will not stop me on exposing the darkness of John Paul Miller and Solid Rock Church. So on that note,
oh damn, they put a video out and it got taken down for that?
John Paul Miller is on his rant again over
what video did that happen to? This is Crimes and Theories, y'all. Crimes and Theories, link down in the description. Let's keep going.
On TikTok. He talks a lot about Micah's mental health, denies accusations, and continues to tell some very interesting tales. Let's take a look.
Everybody, we're going to answer a question from Miss Kelly, C19. That is C19. And she asked how me and True Crime Re got connected. And so this is an unusual story. I've had people call from all over the world, Australia, England, California, Antarctica.
Antarctica? Are you trying to make a joke?
That was a lie. Nobody's called from Antarctica. Nobody cares about me at all in Antarctica. Anyway.
Or just period.
And so all these other people are calling and they're all asking me like information and just not very nice, and their motives. They want me to go on their shows and their TV shows and all these kind of things. And True Crime recalled me, and she had no ulterior motives whatsoever. She just was asking how I was doing. She didn't know who I was. She didn't want me to give her any kind of information. She just started just being very kind to me. And through that, I found out that she was a talk person. And at one point I told her, I said, to help me heal, I think it's time for me to start sharing a little bit. And I got one of my lawyers to approve me sharing little bits and pieces. And she said to me, integrity she had. She said to me, there's platforms that are a lot bigger that would love to hear your story. And I said, I really appreciate that. My goal isn't for everybody to hear my story. My goal is just to kind of get the word out a little bit to make me feel better. I said, I need to heal, and I have all this stuff inside of me, and I have nobody to really share it with. And it's full. I know it's truth. I have proof behind it. I said, I don't care if 1 million people hear it or 1,000 people hear it. I just want to talk about it. And so she agreed that she'd put it on her platform that she has if I send her the videos. And so that's kind of what we've been doing. And it doesn't matter to me if everybody hears it and believes it. It doesn't matter if they hear it and they like me. It doesn't matter if everyone hears it or nobody hears it. It just kind of makes me feel good to know that True Crime rehears it. and I promise I'll be truthful with you. And so that's what we do.
Okay. He just says he promises to remain truthful while speaking his side over on that platform. Well, let's just see about that. Take a listen to these next few videos. These are very important.
Okay, first of all, somebody was making fun of me because I sniff. I have a tick. I had a tick since I was a kid, so that's what it is. At some point,
you what?
We're going to have to recognize in time that this story is about mental illness awareness more than anything else. My wife was diagnosed with bipolar 2 disorder, schizophrenia, dependent personality disorder, and several other diagnoses by different doctors at different times all throughout the past 7 years. The 2 diagnoses that stayed with her every single year was schizophrenia and bipolar 2. Bipolar 2 is where you're super high and you want to give away $1,000. The low is you want to end your life. And she went super high and super low many, many times over the years. And it was a struggle, almost a constant struggle, but we got through it. And the schizophrenia is where she would hear voices or talk to people that were not there. She'd play chess with people that were not there without a chessboard. She would sometimes forget who I was or forget that I was her husband. She'd forget who she was. Or forget that she was my wife. Sometimes she'd forget who her family is, things like that. And on March 11th, remember that date because you super sleuths out there are going to need to know that date for the future. But on March 11th, something happened that kind of forever changed the course of our lives. And she went really deep into the schizophrenia and was delusional and accusing me of certain things, slashing tires or sending a naked picture or stalking her. Things like that I didn't do. And
you admitted to it.
And I found an Apple AirTag in my truck that week, and
oh my goodness, you found an Apple AirTag in your truck.
I assumed it was hers because I would keep seeing her pop up where I was at. Here's a video of, I was at a gas station on March 13th, and I look up and I see this very beautiful woman in a car that I've never seen before. And I learned quickly, of course, it was my wife. And she was hiding out or spying or something, and began videotaping me. And so I videotaped her, videotaping me. You know, it's sad that the mental illness is sad, but we managed to always find lightheartedness in life in spite of it, and we always got through it. And I would do things like sometimes I had to play into the delusion, like pretend like I was a double agent who quit their job to marry this beautiful girl, and I'd have to.
That's literally Shutter Island, y'all. I said it earlier when we saw this bit. That's pretty similar to the plot of Shutter Island.
Show her our marriage license, and sometimes one time I even wrote a resignation to an agency saying that I can no longer work for you because I fell in love and wanted to get married. And
did you hike out to a lighthouse to give it to her?
And things like that. It would help her take her medicine when she would come off of it. And I learned that about 2 years into the marriage. And we worked hard to keep her on her medicine. We worked very hard to keep her enjoying her life. She didn't have to cook a single meal. She didn't have to clean. She didn't have to work. She just had to take her medicine and enjoy her life. And we did our best with what we had. But here's a video of March 13th.
So I'm going to break down that video into pieces because he is trying to manipulate everyone watching it, just like he did with Micah. He denies posting any nude pictures of her, but this email from him says otherwise. Email from him to Micah. I'm sorry for putting a picture of you on the internet. It was for less than 1 hour and immediately taken down. I was hurt that you were telling everyone horrible, intimate details of my past sin, and I just wanted to try and hurt you. Please forgive me. It was evil of me to do that.
Certain things, slashing tires or sending a naked picture or stalking her, things like that I didn't do. And
apology email from him to Micah on April 15th of this year, which is about 12 days before she died. In it, he writes, "I'm sorry for damaging your car, tires, etc. If you ever come back, I will turn in both cars and get you a nice SUV or whatever car you want. Again, my horrible flesh."
If you ever come back, I will turn in both cars and get you a nice SUV. Like, come back to me, I'll buy you a nice car. Hey, me.
Pattern of hurting someone when they hurt me.
He even tells on himself from this text message to News Nation. He says, I even hired PIs to put trackers on her car to know if she was going to a gun store because she kept trying to get a gun the past few months.
If you did all that, then why, when she actually did it, were you not there? That's what I don't understand. You did all that supposedly so that she wouldn't do that stuff, but then when she does that stuff, you're not there? Like you didn't know? And you just so happen to be out of state with another girl?
You what?
Never once in my entire life ever hurt her in any way ever.
Okay, y'all, this is part B, I guess. The family, Francis' family said there were bruises on Micah's body. There were none. I saw her body 4 times. I saw her once in the hospital, 3 times in the funeral home. The hospital that prepared her body for me to see it, the nurse and the medical examiner said there were no bruises, and Robinson County said there were no bruises, and the funeral home.
But you keep saying body, like as in torso, midsection, not hands, not legs, not feet, and hands specifically. You say body, but not hands.
Who washed her entire body and put her in pajamas
body
for us to see her body. So there were no bruises.
Body.
So 4 independent parties say no bruises, but then you have the one who wait until days after she's cremated, and there's no proof. They didn't take any pictures. They didn't tell anyone when they
did take pictures and video. The dad and the sister said that.
supposedly saw it. They wait till later and say, everybody, hey, there's bruises on her body, bruises on her body.
Hands.
Why in the world would we believe that?
Because they don't have a reason to lie, and they don't have a track record of lying like somebody else.
How dare you?
Literally don't understand the logic behind it. I don't understand it because,
Because you're not logical.
Well,
You're emotional, hyper emotional.
the Francis family came forward and said there were no bruises on her body. Robinson County said
But they didn't.
there were no bruises on her body. The medical examiner nurse said there were no bruises on her body. The funeral home said there were no bruises on her body. But then I step up and I said, hey, everybody, I saw bruises. I know I didn't tell you when it happened. I know I didn't take a picture. I know I
People probably wouldn't believe you because you're a liar.
waited until after she was cremated, but I saw bruises on her body. Would you believe me?
No, because nobody can believe anything you say. If you told me the sky was blue, I'd go outside to make sure that it was actually daytime and not nighttime. Insane.
That analogy he uses is hilarious considering everything I just posted, exposing all of his lies. And he wants you to believe him. About the March 11th date, he told everyone, he said, internet sleuths, remember this date because March 11th is going to be significant. Well, on March 11th, this video was taken.
It seems significantly insignificant, at least from your side.
Walk away.
I'll show you the pictures.
Do you want to go to jail?
They'll be on Facebook in a few hours.
Alrighty, you'll be in jail in a few hours. Walk away.
Micah made 2 complaints on March 11th. The first coming after her vehicle tires were found slashed, and the second was hours later after Micah took her vehicle to East Coast Honda to have her tire repaired. Now, this is all kind of hearsay, but I've just been seeing reports saying that Micah was accused by John Paul Miller on March 11th of having an affair, and that he apparently had evidence of this said affair.
You are gonna accuse her of having an affair? Oh my word. Y'all were split up anyways. You were estranged at that point, weren't you? That's not an affair. That's her moving on. Like you were doing. And like you did when y'all were together. And like you did with her, with your first wife, when y'all were together.
Now, I can see this kind of being true if he wants everyone to remember that date, like if that's going to make people feel bad for him or if that makes him look any better. Even if that were the case, I'm sure it's probably not true, and it wouldn't do anything for him considering that he's been cheating on Micah for years, especially with this lady, Susie Skinner. And
yeah, that part.
by the way, this picture was taken about a week ago. That's John Paul Miller's truck picking up Susie outside her house.